Alright, so hey, anybody who's watching, today I decided I'm going to talk about the players I really dislike in this game. Love the game, hate a lot of the players, which comes with any game, but when it's a game that's based so much on team gameplay, you just really grow to despise people. And you almost wish Teamfire was on so that you could brutally murder every single one of them. I know I do. So, first off, big one, players who don't fill. Players who just refuse to fill the roles that are needed drive me nuts because I'm always the guy that has to fill. Now, I'm a support main, so luckily, like, that role's, one support role is taken out of typically you want two tanks and typically you want two supports. That's just the general 2-2-2 meta, right? But I'm already filling a role and I have to switch to a new role because everyone wants to be a DPS, everyone wants to do attacker. So now I have to switch to tank and have someone else solo heal, and because they're usually not support mains, they not that great, or they want to just coast and play Lucio. And by no means am I saying Lucio is just a character you run around and coast on, because I've seen some amazing Lucios, but people tend to play Lucio when they don't play supports. And so I have to fill, and at the point where I'm filling a character, I'm usually pretty angry at that point, and we all know this game sends most of us into a rage when we're trying to win. And I know quick play is like, yeah, I just want to play, I want to have fun, but how are you having fun when your whole team's getting brutally just slaughtered and just have shurikens stuck in your ass the whole game because nobody wants to counter the Genji? So usually when I'm pretty angry, I go Reinhardt, and I have to just attempt to steamroll the enemy team. Like, it's usually like a 2v6 because a healer might stick on me, but the 4 other attackers on my team are just running around they're all flankers apparently, they're all fucking part of some sort of League of Shadows clan. I don't know, it's nuts. The next type of player, and this is everyone, and we all do it, I do it sometimes, you just don't think, you're not paying attention, but players who funnel. Funneling is such an issue in quick play, competitive. People are complaining that their teammates aren't with them. It's like, yeah, asshole, that's because you just ran in 10 seconds before your team even spawned. Which, it's like that because you think you're a flanker, and you think flanking means the entire game you just stand behind the enemy lines and dick around. Which, in reality, I don't know how good you are. Most people aren't good enough to do that, but you should be flanking as your team is engaging. But they don't do that. And that just turns into funneling. It just turns into one by one people are dying and funneling running in on their own. And they don't learn. You have to sit there and spam group up like 50 times before somebody finally reads the chat and realizes, oh my god, a good idea. Next person are people who abuse the mic. And this isn't a huge one because most people are good about the mics and keep push to talk on. But let me tell you, you have to have push to talk or figure out your mic sensitivity, because nobody wants to hear the shh in the background of their game the entire time. You can set mics to only activate at a certain sensitivity, and if you're not going to use push to talk, by all means, if you don't like pressing the button, don't. But if you're not going to use push to talk, figure that shit out, because we don't want to hear your music. We don't want to hear your fucking jet engine of a PC going at full blast. Nobody wants to hear it. Next and this is kind of, I'm picking on Genji and Widow mains, and this is kind of like a half and half thing, because half the time they're amazing and half the time they're just horrible. It's really just people who only play their main in general, and I think you should play. Fuck what people, like, you gotta play the meta, bro. We need triple tank and you gotta play Ana and Lucio. Like, if you're not good at a certain character, don't play them, because you're gonna end up throwing because your teammates forced you to play somebody. But don't just stick to your main either. Like, if you're getting countered, you gotta switch, or if you're not doing anything, you gotta switch. I played with teammates who thought they were carrying games and complained because they're like, I got gold damage, I got gold eliminations, bro. But you did all that, like here, there, not with the team. We were dead half the time. If half your team's dead and you picked a fucking Hanzo off, that doesn't matter because you gotta group up before you can make a push. It's still a fucking 4v5. So I mean, and that's just what happens when you have people who main flankers or snipers. Honestly, sniper mains can be pretty awesome. They're just picking kills off left and right, but the issue is typically most of the time they're not consistent. And most of the time with Genji mains that aren't great is they just, throwing shit. They think they're ranged characters, and yeah, his ability is ranged, but you're not supposed to sit in the back and just toss shit, If you're gonna do that, at least be a distraction during a group fight. Or at least do it to the supports or something. So that covered people who play their mains and refuse to switch. And this leads into people who don't play as a team. It's a team game. Call of Duty's fun. I played so much of it, in middle school and a little bit in high school. But this is not Call of Duty. And you're welcome. Everyone's welcome to join and play, but don't play it like you can just run and gun on your own. It just doesn't work that way unless you're playing against one, a bad team who's also got a bunch of people running and gunning, or two, you're just amazing and you can just take out a number of people to help your team. But if you're not playing as a team, you're just going off as Reaper doing your own thing. You might get one pick, but in the end, your team is 5v5ing, if you get that pick, 5v5ing on the objective, or they're 5v6ing because you're off waiting for somebody to be misplaced. Really, I mean, the reality is, if you want to be that type of person who flanks, you need to be waiting for the team to engage. You need to be in a different position and engaging from a different direction. When you engage from different directions, or you get on the objective as your team's trying to push a choke, they are forced to send somebody, or usually it's 2 or 3 people. I really wouldn't send 3 people, but they send 2 or 3 people to go to the objective, which now means the choke is only held by 3 people or 4 people when you have 5 people pushing that. And then usually you book it and you go help your team. You should not be just going around on your own while your team's spawning and getting murdered. This leads to another issue with nobody fighting as a group. I guess it's more of a competitive scene thing where people organize every single push as a group. But if you just don't waste time and don't just stand in chokes, and every time you're grouped up, you push, you make a big push, and then you die as a team, then you group up again because you're all going to spawn together and make a push and then die as a team, you will have so many more pushes, and your Mercy's going to res you so many more times. She's going to be healing a lot more because you're engaging a lot more, and she's going to be able to res a lot more because you're not going to be all these dispersed deaths. A lot of time, Mercy's just will not res if there's only 2 people dead, which I've learned, depending on what you're playing, you really just gotta read the situation, but I'll res, a 2-person if we're making a push. But a lot of time, reses get wasted because people don't push together and the deaths are just way too dispersed. You have to play as a team. It's a team game. My last little caveat with Overwatch players, and this comes as a support main who tries his gosh diddly darnest to heal all you, are people who LOS me while I'm trying to heal. I understand you're going after that kill, but if you die while going after that kill, even if you get the kill, you have not given us any sort of advantage. You haven't. Unless it's like a Mercy or someone who was going to turn the tide of the game. Stay alive rather than chase, because if you're chasing them, they're running away already. Like, they're already leaving the point. And if you dare spam, you need healing, and you're out of my line of sight, and you expect me to fly like a fucking angel. I know I'm the guardian angel. I know that's what they call Mercy. But if you expect me to actually just fucking strap on these steel balls and go in there to save you, you're a little cocky. You're a little, you know, little too selfish. Because I'll do it. I do that kind of stuff. I'll pocket people in battle. I don't give a shit. I'm fucking nuts, bro. I'll pocket you in battle, but don't have the expectation that I will. You need to stay alive on your own accord and let me heal you if shit gets rough. And that's about all I have to say. This is me just want to talk about people we don't like. You know, you're welcome to play, but we don't like you. So thanks to anybody that's watching. There will be another video tomorrow. And yeah, subscribe if you enjoyed. If you didn't enjoy, don't subscribe. Or maybe do subscribe. I don't know. I'm just talking nonsense at this point. See you guys.
Gotta get Mercy. Lucio's lit. Lucio's one. Nice.
Nice.
I'm gonna go. Winston's coming.
Good job.